Hello, and welcome to my channel. In this video today, we are going to look at what lies ahead for our Cancer. Yes, it is Cancer season, and that's what we have here, celebrating our Cancers, and this is my gift to you. So here we go. Let's take a look at what lies ahead. But before we do that, well, let's talk a little bit about the Cancers. Why not? And one of the things that we should remember, it's the fascinating Cancers. Yes, they're called crabby sometimes because that's what it is. They are under the water signs and they're full of emotions and sometimes very secretive. So at the same time, these are called the nurturers of the zodiac. They're very caring. So what is it if we didn't have a Cancer in our life? All right, and also what I'd like to do is, if you're into gems and crystals, this is a good time to highlight some of the good stones that we need now for our Cancers. Carnelian. The carnelian is a beautiful energy that sets forth confidence, motivation, courage, and strength and empowerment. And so when we are so sensitive as the Cancers are, then we need all this to continue building on the energy. Then there's this beautiful smoky quartz. It's a grounding stone. As you know, being a water sign, you do need some grounding because you're so involved and so devoted and so nurturing. And this allows you to ground yourself and to not take on so much of other people's worries, because what happens is you may tend to catch yourself being depressed more often than any of the other signs on the zodiac. Then, of course, agate. I am using my flat agate, but ideally the white agate is the one that really brings in more of the energy that you need to help you enjoy life, to attract luck and vitality and confidence. So we're bringing all this energy here. And lastly, amethyst. The amethyst is for balancing and for calming. And also it is a master healer. So I have it both in the rock and tumbled rock and the beautiful natural state. So we're bringing you these beautiful energies, my beautiful Cancers, so that we can activate more of this energy. This is your month and your time to shine. All right. So before we go ahead and get the spread set up, one of the things that I'd like to share with you is that as we're beginning to transition into Cancer, right on that cusp of Cancer transitioning, guess what? The moon is going to be going through the constellation of Aries. And what does that mean? The moon is the celestial body for Cancer. So we've got evoking all these emotions and feelings coming through. And now that it is traveling through the constellation of Aries, precisely on the transition period, wow, get ready. Because what we're going to see is, we're talking about crabby Cancer. Well, guess what? That mood change is going to go from dreamy and pump it up into, the fiery emotions of vitality that comes from all the Aries, speeding up a lot of things, a lot of activity, making you a little bit edgy, maybe a little bit punchy at the same time. But you know what? That's where it's coming from. So this may be the time that you're going to have to face the fears. And what's that song by Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror? There you have it. And you might find that, you might be in situations that you're moving out of your comfort zone, but that's okay. Let's take a look at the month ahead. So we're going to position these cards a little bit off to the side so we can set the stage for your message. Okay, let's do this. All right, what does the universe have for Cancer? And if you are a Cancer, leave your comment and let me know. All right, to all our Cancers, happy birthday. Here we go. All right, so the first one that we're going to lay out here is to take a look at kind of the overall, where you're at overall right now, current. And then we're going to move on to see what are you ready and willing to leave behind. And then what is going to continue in your life? And what's the new that's entering your life? Okay, then we will step it up here to career, relationship, personal growth, and lastly, what is the overall message? So it's your current mindset and then the overall message. Let's take a look. All right. All right. So we start with revealing the first card. So what do we see here? Well, overall, there are some delays, and some of the frustrations that you've been feeling is because you've been waiting for some things to kind of manifest, some projects and plans, and so you're kind of feeling like you're like waiting for something to happen. You're waiting for things. You've got a lot of things, quote unquote, in the pipeline, but yet none of that is manifesting. So that's kind of got you in that kind of a lull. So there's this sense of, when is my break going to happen? When am I going to start seeing, the benefits of all my efforts? So that's where you're at with that. As we move on to, what are you willing to leave behind? Well, you're willing to leave behind the drama. You're willing to leave behind emotions that are no longer serving you. You're willing to leave behind untruths that are not part of your current narrative. You're willing to leave behind that sense of immaturity and naiveness. Yes, you're not disconnecting from the little boy or the little girl inside of you, but there is an awakening happening, and you realize that it is time to put those things aside and to really focus on, moving forward and moving onward. What will continue in your life? Okay, now this, I'm a little bit concerned about this, Cancer, because, my dear one, there will be some continued challenges for you. And as these challenges continue to show up in your life, don't take them as a negative. Don't take them as being victimized in that sense, but take it on as, I'm taking it. Come on, world. Come on, life. Is this the best you got for me? Is this the best you got? Because I'm here doing strength training. So you see, this is a karma, a major arcana card. Usually when the major arcana's card, they're moments kind of telling you about things that need to be worked on or things that are really happening. It's in the reversed. So what it means here is that lessons are being put in your path so that you can develop inner courage, inner strength. You, Cancer, are much stronger than you give yourself credit for. Yes, you are very sensitive. Yes, you're very nurturing. Yes, sometimes your emotions go up and down. But you know what? You are much stronger than you give yourself credit. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at what is new that's entering your life. And I know that Cancers aren't really fond of, that small talk. But you know what? When you get to know them, you'll understand how they really are. They are very caring. And that's what this is. Abundance is showing up your way. You know what? You were talking about, why isn't things happening? Give it time. You're going to begin to see things kind of begin to evolve and manifest towards the middle of the cycle and end of the Cancer period. So as it's transitioning, you will see, because you are in your space, you are in your energy. That is one thing that's working in your favor, that you are attracting all of this, and all the sensitivities and emotions and the universe and all the other zodiacs and constellations are lining up to celebrate you, to help you, and to assist you. So there will be a lot of things that are going to be met, and you're also going to be there's somebody that's going to be coming into your confidence, that's going to be sharing lots of important things to you, and spirituality and growth and abundance. And the beautiful part is that you're going to be protected And that is beautiful. Let's take a look at how career will be unfolding for our Cancers. Congratulations, Cancer. So it looks like some of you are shifting, moving forward, moving on to better opportunities. So in your career, whether it's your business, your enterprise, your job, or working with a charity, civic groups around town, whatever it is that you're involved with, in people, whether you're making money out of it or not, if it's something that you're involved in, that you've made this your life quest, you know what? Things have been rough, yes, and this is probably some of those frustrations, like you want things to manifest and you're waiting for things to work out, and they will work out. They're going to be a transition, and you will be moving to better opportunities and calmer waters. Relationship. Well, guess what? Something happened in a relationship. Could be a close relationship, and things are going to look better for you. There were some things that were said that, both parties regret, but you know what? It's almost like, like you see the spilled water, the spilled cup. It's just needed to come out. It needed to be, shared. It needed to be expressed. And you don't really have a problem when it comes to expressing your emotions. Yes, you do have a tendency to sometimes, be a little bit secretive, and you just don't like revealing everything right away. But at the same time, you're very forthcoming with how you feel, and you would expect that others are too. And unfortunately, they are not. But you are more in tune with your feelings, so that is expected. And, all of this is going to be unearthed and gives an opportunity to be expressed. Okay, let's take a look at personal growth. It's interesting that as this new thing's entering, this kind of in this area, it's falling together in the area of Pentacles, meaning with your personal growth right now, you are feeling very confident. You're feeling very good in your skin. Just be very careful that you don't get stuck in there, because there is still the next level, the next layer, the next ascension, the next shift that you need to be ready for. So as you continue to feel comfortable in the growth that you've done already, because you've already, said, you know what, I need to, take a little bit more responsibility, and I'm ready to, express more and mature more and grow more. And so this, as you continue to be in this new skin and in this new level up that you've been in, it's okay. Just be careful not to be too comfortable, because you know what happens with stagnant waters? They begin to stink. You don't want to stay there too long. Okay, the next one up is for our overall message here. Don't let yourself get burnt out. Don't let yourself get burnt out. Even though the biggest deal is here, that you need to, understand that the challenges that are happening to you are there to serve you to become stronger, not in your heart, Cancer, but in your mind. It's being able now to take those emotions, put them through the colander and sift them so that all the crappy stuff is gone. And then you have something that you can work with and grow with and analyze. And in that, then ask for God's guidance to fill you and to help you as you continue on that life purpose. That's your overall message. So as we close out the session, I've got a couple more cards that I want to throw on here for you. And let's take a look at, one would be this one. The next one would be a relationship one, and see where that rolls. And I will put these in the description of each of these decks. And also, if you are interested in a personal reading, I will also have my personal website, and you can spend 20 minutes with me, or 40 minutes, whatever you feel you need to answer your question, and we'll set that time. But you must contact me. I don't reach out to you. Once you've set that appointment up, I will contact you at the number that you've given me to verify. Okay, and lastly, the angel message. So we've got a little smorgasbord going on here. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, so remember I said about be careful not to get stagnant. If your pendulum is not moving, you are not experiencing and using and harnessing that energy. It's just going to, so be careful with your personal growth. So let's read here. It says fluctuating income, indecision, new strategy, seasonal work, job change, making choices. So we need to activate all of that by staying active. Don't get comfortable in the zone. Make sure that you try something new. Make things that could put you out a little bit, but enough for you to experience something new, but not enough to scare you. So, but enough to begin to help you begin the future phase of your life. You do not want to be stagnant. Let's go to the karma card here, and planets was the choice. So let's see what showed up. Okay, so here we are looking at Saturn, and it says here, from your soul to your mental to your physical, be realistic about and concerned. You must wait before you can. So when we look at these things, be realistic about the things you want to do. Be realistic about your personal expectations. Because you know what? With the water signs, one of the things that we have here is that, especially Cancer, you love starting things. You love the beginning of every stage. The issue that you have is, at the end there, maybe execution and keeping it going. And then at the end, how do you wrap it up? How do you move forward? So this is why it's important that you don't get stuck and get ready to start new things. But be realistic about what you're expecting from that. Or also be realistic about what you're expecting from others. Initially, it says here, be concerned. Be concerned that the things that you're doing is being of value to you and that it is helping you in your personal growth. And lastly, you must wait before you can move on to things. So you've got some things here that need to move on, and there's a lot of things that you've got to put in mind. There's a sword card here. So you definitely have to plan things so that you're sure about any of the moves that's going to happen. And so it is worth it, waiting a little bit, doing the research, and then executing, okay? And then the other thing that we want to look at here is okay, so but before we go on to this message, what I do want to share is kind of going back to the karma card here. One of the planets that is coming to help you is Saturn. Now, the energy of Saturn is very earthy, and that's kind of interesting because the elements that were thrown here were also helping you ground yourself. So it's kind of, coming back to shore and not being caught up in the emotions, but also grounding yourself so that you can take some action that you much need. But the most important thing is Saturn energy is going to come in to help you, to discipline you, to help give you focus. Because one of the things that we see here is that working on that inner strength that you need, that inner courage. And so that's why these challenges are going to continue here. So I just wanted to clarify that. Okay, so now let's read what the Lover's card has for you, Cancer. Forgiveness. Wow. It says here, stop focusing your energy on past events. For life is too precious to waste. You create your reality by what you think, dream, and imagine. So there you go, Cancer. There you have it. You can create this. When your overall card here is telling you you've got to rest, and it's not about the feeling, but about thinking things into place. You've done enough feeling. Think. Okay, and lastly, what does your angel message reveal for you? Answered prayers. I love that. Well, happy birthday, Cancer. There you have it. Keep asking, keep praying. God is there to answer your prayers, and it will be so. Again, thank you so much for joining me, and lots of beautiful days ahead. under this Cancer transition.